What's up, everybody? This is Hush, aka How You Stop Him, aka Voice of Reason, aka No Noise, aka Unstoppable Hush. And this is another edition of Tell It How It Is, No Filter, episode 145. Happy holidays and all that. I might have said that on the last one. You know, it's beginning to look. Nah, that's cap. It don't look like the holidays really, Christmas, New Year's and all of that. Like the weather is a little brick. It has its brick moments, but we haven't officially felt the wrath. I know a lot of people rather not. I don't mind a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. But anyway, hope everybody's doing well. That's how I start. So the first thing is we have Soul Train Awards. I don't really watch the awards. I don't really do a lot of research on what happened and all of that. Sometimes I give y'all a little input. That's for y'all. But personally for me, it doesn't really matter. But Soul Train happened, awards happened. I guess you can go back to YouTube and see, whatever you want to see, nominees and all of that and performances. It's still majority black culture, so I just put it out there for that itself. The movie King Richard, Will Smith with the story of Venus and Serena. I haven't seen that yet either. Damn, Hush, you slacking. No, Hush is busy. Anyway, I'm gonna check that out, but the point is, allegedly, it is some sideline chatter that Venus and Serena has other siblings that are not pleased with this story. I guess there's some pain there because it seems as if, according to them, allegedly, that Venus and Serena was a highlight. But what about the rest of the kids, claiming to have suffered and struggled through the time of their on the come up? You know what I mean? So I don't know how true that is. I don't know if that's just to draw controversy or just draw attention. We'll see. I guess I don't know if we'll ever get the truth behind that, but that's a lot of that's a lot because their story is dope, and I know that, not to say this case, that when you got some positivity of that magnitude, there's gotta be some negativity trying to just enter. You feel me? Like it just can't be just left alone. Gotcha. Dope story either way. It's pleasant to see the success of black people, black women especially. So I'm gonna always point that part out. But anyway, the name of the movie is King Richard. Got you. Raekwon has a new book, From Staircase to Stage. Shout out Wu-Tang, definitely. I don't mind this. A lot of people, I don't know how many people, will assume that, if you're an artist, you're just a rapper or whatever, that's where the buck stops. I love creativity. So, writing a book, it may not be as authentic because of how, I guess back in the day or whatever, couple years ago, it was a rarity or it was real writers versus now you may say everybody's writing a book. But there's some stories that's interesting. It doesn't really matter who decides to jump out the window and do one. It's all about that person. So, Raekwon may not be a writer. Who the fuck cares? I would love to hear what his story is. I'm not heavily into books, but I would check that out. You know what I'm saying? So a story like his, I want to hear. I don't mind that. So that's dope, and it's sad because I'll even criticize myself because I read the Corinne Steffens Video Vixen or whatever book, because of the controversy and the negativity in that. So why can't I turn around and read something like this? I mean, it may have some shit in there as well, but I'm sure, based off the title alone, that, it may end nicely. You feel me? So check out Raekwon's book, From Staircase to Stage. That's dope. Gathering my thoughts here. Yo, LeBron is getting a little edgy these days. You know, we a little more gangster than I thought. And I'm not even trying to be funny or promote that. It appears that during the Pacers game, a recent game, obviously, there was a couple, and allegedly, they said they hope that his son, Bronny Jr., dies in a car crash. So everybody was paying attention to when LeBron had these two escorted out the game. Again, that was at Pacers. And, wow. They're like, yo, who is LeBron? To get people kicked out. And you wasn't home. You on the road getting people kicked out. That shows the powers that be. But now to hear that later, I hope that's not true. But damn, like, I don't know. I'm not no super duper gangster thug, none of that. I'm just saying, like, you want my child to die in a crash? Yo, I'm not even going there because I hope it's not true. It's alleged. Like I said, I didn't see them say that. I'm not going to say it's a lie. I'm not going to say it's true. I'm just telling you that, woo! Let me take a sip of it. Wishing my kid to die? Wow. So, you know, the thing about that, to be on a serious note, a lot of people get shit fucked up. Like, you could be cool, calm, collective. You ain't got to have no history of violence. You ain't got to have a history of intimidating motherfuckers. But you could really push somebody with that resume to be the exact opposite. Like that. Like why play with me? Like yo. That might be the name of this. Don't play with me. I don't know if that's the name of this, but I'm just saying. If it is, I can name it whatever I want, because obviously I can put two and two together when I'm recording it versus when it comes out that I'm deciding then, literally. But yo, don't play with people, yo, because that's a whole nother thing. It's like, some people just go about their way, you know what I'm saying? I ain't sitting here to defend LeBron like he's an angel and that's like my brother or right hand like that. I'm just saying that he does look like he's done pretty good for himself. He maybe, you could criticize whatever he does on the court, you know, complaining about foul calls or non-foul calls or whatever. But as a person, I don't really see nothing wrong with the nigga. So, like, leave him be. Like, yo, that's crazy. I wasn't going to spend this much time on that, but you got to really dissect that. Like, these fans is out of line. Like, it's so much history with fans wilding, calling people crazy shit, all sports. Racism shit, other shit, throwing shit, fight. Yo, you pay your bread, and I guess that's the oxymoron of it. You pay your bread to go see a sports event, to act like that? Like, you wasted your bread for that? Or you just really paid it to go do shit like that spitefully? Like, you can't even really get in the minds of these people, because that could be the MO the whole time. Paying the bread to go be fuck shit, to do fuck shit. Yo, I'm off that. That's crazy. Wow. Football is getting interesting now. I always throw it in there briefly. The Cowboys had an upset loss. They should have won that. That was what? Thanksgiving night? Yeah. Giants and Jets won again. When they went on the same day, you gotta announce it. You know what I'm saying? Like these days, because they're really struggling. And it's not to say and jab them about lack of talent, but when they both went on the same day, if you check their records out, you'll understand what I'm saying. Other NBA shit, that just took the cake, so it's really nothing else to say. Golden State looks very good. Phoenix is on like a 16-game winning streak. Phoenix Suns, you know what I'm saying? Both the Knicks and the Brooklyn had to fall to them recently. That might come out the West. Phoenix and Golden State, yo. Might. We'll see. It's interesting. Let's hang on. I think I got two things. If I get to the second one, if I really remember. The first thing I got for you is keeping people on a short leash. The negative and the positive behind that. And how mentally strong you gotta be to maintain that. Because you know, you're going to challenge yourself saying that, this is the MO, but you kind of like ease up sometimes. Is easing up okay? Or if you got people on a short leash, you have to stay diligent and on it 24/7. So, short leash and limited access. Okay, I'm gonna focus more on the short leash though. So, if you was kind of like raised a certain way, or mid-teens to your adulthood is just how you became and how you are, then this conversation is not even necessary for you to hear, because I think you can maintain that, or you have a better chance of maintaining that. But if you're someone that, from teenage to adult years, you're just like energetic, a people person, everywhere you go, you could just spark conversations and get people to, interact, that's a good quality. The sad part is that you can't just have something fucking good. So the dopeness of that is that's real good energy, bringing people to life and just getting people to interact and enjoy and have a good time. Like, yo, that's a huge honor, like, if you got that quality, because there's a lot of people who can't interact like that, like much less one-on-one, than expecting them to do that in like a crowd setting or people, a couple folks around. So anyway, not to get off, this short leash thing is like, it's for your safety sometimes. It's crazy because it's like you want to be in the mix. You want to just be honest. Not even honest. You want to just be free to be how you is. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, if you're like the person I described as far as, you're energetic, the people you do consider important or hold any kind of weight, you want to just be free. I know responsibilities limit you to the hangouts and the turn-ups, maybe, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about which makes it more crazy. I'm rambling here, but like, feel me. You're already limited if you got huge responsibilities, and the older you get, and especially if you got on track later in life, and you're trying to catch up, you playing catch up right now, as far as all your finances and responsibilities that you have to pay attention to. You already limited. So this conversation goes even more like necessary to understand and follow what I'm saying to you. If you already on limited time because of, again, getting your shit together and staying focused, the time you do have to spare should be used wisely, very wisely. You shouldn't, have to question that. You shouldn't have to, add stress or doubt because you can't get up with people like you would want to anyway. So now when you can, you need a moment of silence for that. Now when you can, you gotta, I'm gonna do this, I'm not gonna do that. And it's a learning experience because there's nothing I can sit here and tell you for you to avoid wasting your time. There's gonna be times you're gonna waste your time. It's just a fact. But you learn from it, and the next time to not go that route. You know what I'm saying? And it's cool. There's no real venom and something to really, like, get all out of shape about. I'm just saying, learn. Your time is limited. How you choose to spend the time you can spare is totally up to you. It's totally up to you. And whoever can accept that is like, wow. I don't want to tell you, throw them off the roof or some shit like that, but you fucking out of line. Yeah, I said it. You're out of line. Your time is your time. The older you get, too. I mean, if I could grasp at the young folks to let them catch on to this earlier in life, they'd be better off. You see, the thing is, some people may wish they could turn their hands of time back. Some people say, fuck it, I deal with it. But if everybody could get that opportunity, we could like adjust and make shit turn out better. Do a quick go back, fix some shit, then come back to real time. I think if everybody got that opportunity, I think they could make a difference. I hope. Unless they still going down shit's creek and don't get it yet. And some people don't get it yet. And that's cool. Hopefully you get it one day. But anyway, back to the short leash thing. So now, when you do this, you can't really crack. You know, I mean, I'm not that. How can I say it? I'm not that on you about it. If you do slip up a little bit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so for example, like, if people that you deal with or you hang out with, you like or whatever, they having just a regular hangout, you know, and you don't make that. Don't sacrifice something to make that. If you're really free and available, then you could go. But now when something's more specific, like, let's say they just throwing an event themselves. Maybe this is their first time doing that. Even if it ain't the first time they doing it, it's a special thing they're doing specifically. I would still say don't break your shit for it per se. But if it's questionable, like whatever you had to do wasn't A1 important on the list, that's debatable. You feel me? Like, okay, you could go or not go. Birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, engagements, and all that. Who's the person? Again, I'm not judging though, because if you got this short leash going all year, you know, these things don't happen every week. These examples. You know, if it's somebody's birthday, that's once a year. If it's somebody's anniversary, that's once a year. Events don't have a limited time. Engagement should be once, not even once a year. That's once. You feel me? So if you decide to go to these things, that's once, and God forbid it's a waste of your time. Yeah, learn, but it's alright in a way. I'm going to let you feel like you could slide on that because it was a once, you know what I'm saying? The opportunity to waste your time again is not coming for a year. You know what I'm saying? So it's harder to make those decisions because it's like, I hope, you know what I mean? This was the play. And then it could go so many ways. Like, you could gain from going to something that wastes your time as far as whatever else you did on that day or in them hours before it or after it. Or it could go left where some shit go down before or after it, and it's like you really wait. So, you know what I mean? I don't think there's no real middle here. There's no real middle. Just take it, and you know the next time around, if you ain't going, go back to that. And then, you know, the short leash thing, you ain't got to be like evil or rude about it. You just, you know, stay your distance and all that. You could, you know, technology is fucking accessible for everybody. So I know that you don't get the genuine feel out of text messages and maybe a phone call here and there. But if you got some genuine love or genuine, like, regardless of how things turn out, that you still want people to be good, and, you know, it's not nothing that you really got this, I want to off the person's head, then yeah, you use your devices to do whatever little shout out or reach out. You know what I mean? That's a waste of time. People could say that's that petty about how important time is, but that's less of a waste of a time than pulling up. You know what I'm saying? So try to see the differences there and, you know, use that more. You know what I'm saying? Is this short leash thing limited to... yeah, absolutely. I already spoke on it. Like, depends on how important a person is. It could be a person, a friend, a person. Of course, it's a person. It could be a friend. It could be a family member. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? And again, you could still reach out to show that it's love there. It's just that, I'm telling you, when it's time to get your shit right, or you just moving valuable, you like your time is so valuable. You know, really at every age. You know, you might want to say when you're 20, you could just be recklessly doing X, Y, and Z. But I'm telling you, time goes so fast that even in your 20s, when you feel like you can do whatever, or it's not that serious, you're going to turn around and you're going to be 30. Then you're going to turn around, you're going to be 40. You're going to be like, what the fuck? What the fuck have I been doing useful? So it's dope if you could catch on to this from early. Because then, you know, this is my view on it. I'd rather you catch on early you 20, you 30, you 40, and then it might sound redundant, retarded. If you make mistakes after catching on early and like you 20 years later and you've done some good shit for yourself and you kind of established and you kind of got things going the way you want, real confidently, and now you want to make like certain moves and choices and you see that you wasted your time or whatever, you can learn later. And I feel like it's a more relaxed learn because you've got shit together. You know, if you got $100 right now, right? I'm gonna take it small. If you got $100 and you've always held on to that 100, and then you decide to throw two at something and you wasted the $2. That's better than you ain't hold on to no 100. You got $2 and you gamble the $2 and you lose the $2. You feel me? So I don't know if you getting me. You follow me? Like you follow? Let me break it down for you a little slower. If you from the time you reach adulthood, whenever they consider you to be an adult, from the time you get there and you on it like this with your time and how valuable it is. And so when you get older, you start to spread out more. You don't got the short leash really. And you start to see where you waste your time at. You kind of establish yourself already. So if you want to learn then that way, I don't really have nothing against that. I even think in some ways that could be better versus you 20, you 30, you wasted time then. Everybody's going to go with this one. When you 20, you 30, you waste your time, and then 40, you finally get it, and you start to lock in and appreciate your time and really choose wisely, and the short leash thing is heavy. You still going to have a chance of wasting your time. You still going to have that experience somewhere. So, which avenue is better? Obviously, everybody's going to say, yeah, if you could catch on when you're younger, that's dope. I mean, this is not going to be the case for some people. You know what I mean? But young or old, and I don't really want to call you old, young or not so young, just keep the focus, man, Or if you're not, I say these in many different ways on many different episodes and segments. Yo, you just got to eat whatever if you're not going to stay focused. If you're not going to stick to your guns and do the short leash shit for real, I'm using that in this example, then whenever you go outside of that and shit don't go right or it was a waste of your time, you got to eat that because ain't nobody tell you had to do that. Ain't nobody put no gun to your head. The thing, somebody very special to me always tells me, you can't please everybody. And because you genuinely care, and whoever you do vouch for, or who you think you vouch for, you can't go all out for everybody thinking that they will go all out for you too. And when you got that good positive energy, because when you raised by certain, how you're raised matters. And some people could still form into something that may not appear that it was influenced by how they was raised at all. Some people turn out where you go back and investigate their upbringing, and it's the total opposite of how they moving, negative or good. You know what I mean? So it doesn't just stop there. The point is, though, when you got a good heart and you just want everybody to win, that come with a price. Like, I've seen back in the day family members that's like genuinely will break their back for like everybody. Like there's no venom for no one in the world, no matter what the status is, no matter what they got going on. They just the most joyful, want to help. Like we don't really got a lot of that today. You know what I'm saying? But it come with a price. And it's sad because it's like, you don't really want to change you, especially when you up there. When you're a little older, if that's how you been, that's how you is. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's not really nothing wrong with that. But you do gotta like check shit. You gotta really G-check shit. You know what I'm saying? Because people get it fucked up. You know what I mean? And I don't mean to be like bipolar, but it's a fact. Like everybody who ever tunes into this, who's ever watched any episode, one love, no doubt. and I want you to be great. And that's just a general thing. But you know, as far as like who I really let in and who I'm really gonna jump out the window for, like people don't fucking appreciate it. And it's not one person. It's not being specific. It's not a jab. It's just like that's a fucking fact. Like I don't care. Outside of work, if you work, where you work, who's cool, people on your block, they don't give a fuck. They really don't. Like, I'm really beginning to really absorb this. And, you know, it might be, like, heavy to hold. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, nobody gives a fuck. I mean, let's be honest. Let's do averages. It's scary because if you only vouch for 2 people, one of them may not give a fuck. One of them is really not your people's. If you vouch for 10, 8 may not give a fuck. You know, and you get the sickness in this because the higher the number of who you vouch for, the higher the number of how many of them don't give a fuck. And you just like carrying this energy like this is my people's or this is a loved one. Yo, it's spooky. I'm telling you, it gets spooky out here. So you got to draw the balance, though. It's not like, you know, what the fuck can you do? You know, people going to be who they are. You know what I'm saying? So, and move how they move, you know, and that goes into individual shit that we all can't control. Nobody can control. An individual's demons or however they thinking and however they are is just, you can't, you know, what can you do about that? You know what I'm saying? It's not your responsibility. But, you know, so that's why if you look at that, you can look at that angle of it and not, you know, be too vicious or evil or blatant or spiteful. You can still show the love the way you would normally do from a distance and just not break your neck or jump out the window. That all. Wish them well, you know. The wasting time thing, yo. I don't even know how to say dude name. Brent Faze featuring Drake, Wasting Time. That is my song. Anybody around me, like that's around me on the daily, if they know that, you know now. And that's one subject though. That's just about females. But still, like, yo, your time is just so valuable. You don't really see that until you see that. You get it? So I don't know, man. You just gotta keep it tall and just pay attention to these things, man, and accept it, you know. If you're really strategic and it's like a game of chess for you and you mostly move in a way that you could respect yourself, whenever you do make a bad turn, a bad decision, you just got to stand on it. I know it's going to be emotional or frustrating at the time of it, but, you know, go to sleep, wake up. I'm a big believer if you get a good night's rest, you could, like, you know, move on from shit. Still keep it in the mental. Good night's rest. Because, you know, your energy, your body, everything reacts to shit. You know what I'm saying? So, if you hold on to something, that shit just gonna wear on you and weigh on you. And you wonder why you ain't got no energy or you dragging and you lazy with it. You holding on to something, man. Let it go. Let it go. You know, this world is cold, man. It's spooky outside, man. Scary hours, you know. And I know there's some peaceful people somewhere that's like, I don't see this, Hush. I don't really grasp what you're saying, like, you know, because if you don't get what I'm saying and you can't relate, you either really delusional. I'm gonna bring the bad first and then the good. You really delusional and you need to wake up because you're walking around with your eyes shut. Or you made it. You are a professional at not wasting time, not having toxic people around, not really getting into too much crazy shit to put yourself in a position to feel like you wasted your time. It may seem a little selfish, but if you can't relate at all, I'm jealous if you know, the good side of that. Not like I said, not the delusional, because there's people who's just, you know, going day to day, doing what they do, the normal, regular shit, and then whoever they really put their chips on, whoever they say they vouch for, whoever they call friend or fam, they have no clue what's going on. They have no clue. You know what I'm saying? It's real naive. So they're not going to feel me on this. And that's cool. You know, I don't really, I'm kind of just leaving my legacy, behind. I'm not going to talk negative like about passing on to the afterlife. I'm just saying, like, I just leave this because I know whether it happens while I'm here or after I'm here, I know that somebody is going to be able to take something from what I said. And it's like, that's my duty to the world as a human being on this planet. If I can't help the people that I consider close, because I have to now play the short leash. At least if I come on film and give it to y'all, I can help people that's not close to me, not nowhere near me. You know what I mean? YouTube is universal. Everybody can access it pretty much. So I could catch somebody in Zimbabwe watching this. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy about it. Because again, and briefly on the views thing, I could have 5 views, but those 5 views could be Zimbabwe, Australia. And you know what? That's dope to me. That's dope. I'm not going to go too much into that to get off track here. Again, the short leash thing, folks, is if you're going to do it. And I'm not saying if, you should do it. And, value your time. Value your time. I'm not just talking about grinding and getting money, period. It's like any moment you do have, choose what you want to do with that. You want to do with it. And I know sometimes, again, if you're like this good person that just wants everybody to win and there's no catch to that, you're going to want to spread love. You're going to want to be able to help or be accessible. But that shit is wear and tear on you. It takes energy. And people don't deserve it. You see these memes all the time. Who deserve your energy? This and everybody posts the smartest shit in the world. Got the fucking realest quotes. And ain't nobody following this shit for real. Shit is crazy. But it's an attempt for people who can catch on. For people who can see the light. Hopefully it reach somebody. Because everybody posts some real shit. Yo, that was real. Let me repost that. Let me put that in my story. I do that all the time, all day. But who's really following? Who's really doing that? What's the percentage? Who will jump for you like you jump for them? Who? There's some debatable scenarios where if I'm already down the block and you need me to come down the block, I'll be there. But if you 2 hours away, I ain't coming there. You gotta be dying. And I did this on another segment before with the whole, again, that doesn't mean cancel people all the way or be rude or obnoxious or really get in your feelings about it. Life. Nobody's really guaranteed to you. Why people don't get that? Nobody's guaranteed. Look at me right now. I'm closing out. Nobody is guaranteed to you. If you have kids, that's the closest. And when they grown, they still don't got to do shit for you. I hate to say that, and I hope that's not the case. But that's the only example. That's the only argument you have. People, other grown folks around you, friends, fam, spouse, they don't, there's no guarantee in that shit. Listen, the longer you go and the longer y'all last, the more stories y'all have, the happiness, the happiness and the laughters and the I'm in love and all of that is fucking great. But nothing is set. You could wake up tomorrow. Yo, this shit is that spooky. But I don't wish that on nobody. And I don't want that to be nobody's story. I'm just saying, if you put this in your mind, you'll be able to handle it. I'm telling you, you'll be able to handle it. It won't be easy, but you'll be able to handle it. So keep that short leash up. Keep it strong. Keep it real. Till the next time. Peace. Be safe.